I'm David Groninger in Seattle, Washington. Today is Tuesday, December 29th, 2015. And every day I ask myself a question: what can I say in 10 minutes that might help 10 million people? And then I come up with some ideas and I give a short talk. And by the way, you can play the piano great even if you have a hurt finger. And my finger's not really hurt that bad, just some dry skin. I just didn't want it to get any drier. Well, this is just a portion of a beautiful piano piece I just played. It is a part of a duet or concerto for a cello and piano written by Rachmaninoff. And that's one of my favorite sections. Well, so the idea that I came up today with, what can I say in a 10-minute message? And I have my trusty alarm clock that's going to go off in less than 10 minutes to keep my message short. But the idea is this, and it's called the process of change. The process of change, or you might say a predictable process in your self-development, in your self-empowerment, in your self-growth. And what it is the best way to describe it is like this. Imagine you want to clean up your kitchen, and you notice that underneath your refrigerator there is a whole bunch of dirt. You haven't cleaned your underneath your refrigerator maybe in years. So you move your refrigerator and there's all this dirt underneath the refrigerator. So you sweep or you move all this dirt out onto the main floor of your kitchen, and then you move the refrigerator back, and now you're in the process of sweeping up this dirt. And let's say you have 90% of it swept up. So there's only 10% remaining. But just at this time, one of your friends comes over and comes into your kitchen and says hello to you, and they happen to see this dirt on your kitchen floor. Now 90% of the dirt has been already removed, and you have 10% of the dirt there. But what if, for example, this particular person was thinking about having a get-together at your house, but she sees this dirt on the floor, and so afterwards she calls her other friends saying, hey, you know what, let's not have a get-together at this person's house because their kitchen floor seemed kind of dirty, and this person must have seemed kind of unorganized as well. Let's have the get-together at someone else's house, or whatever. The idea is this. Here you are, and you're being kind of judged a little bit, unjustly, because there was some visible dirt in your life. There was some type of a change you were making. You were changing the amount of dirt underneath your refrigerator from 100%, hopefully down to 0%, but just while you still had 10% left, which was visible, somebody noticed it. Well, look at it this way. All of your other friends that are going to have this get-together now at somebody else's house because you were somehow rejected, some judgment made about you that somehow there's something wrong with you, all of their refrigerators underneath, they still have 100% of the dirt still there. You have 0% of the dirt there, and by the time your friend left, you've already swept up the last 10% of the dirt on your kitchen floor. So you have 0% of the dirt in your underneath your refrigerator that's there. It's all gone. Your friends have 100% that's still there, but theirs is not visible. But because your dirt was visible, you were somehow judged. Well, in the process of self-development, self-empowerment, the process of changing, of dropping old habits, dropping old habits and adopting new habits, things like this. During this time, it can appear as though there's some confusion in our life, or maybe our life is a little bit more sensitive than it was before. It's like you take apart a car engine, maybe take it and put it in 20 different pieces. Now you're going to put it back together again, and you're doing it for the purpose of cleaning the parts, putting a few new parts, so that the overall engine is going to run much better once it's all put together. You're going to get better gas mileage, the car is going to last longer, a lot of benefits of doing this, just like there are benefits of self-development, of self-growth, of self-improvement, of the process of change. There are benefits there. Well, but if somebody notices that this car engine is in 20 pieces, they might look at you and look at the car and think, oh my goodness, don't take a ride in that guy's car. It looks like it's a mess. They don't understand that you had to take something apart and then sort it out and put it back together, maybe in a more effective way, and clean some of the parts so that the whole thing can run better. Well, in your life as well, there are changes that happen. It might seem like sometimes when you're in this process of change or the process of self-development, that at some point your emotions might be hypersensitive, or maybe you might be expressing more anger or more grief more often than normal. So somebody might notice that and judge you maybe a little bit, wrongly because of that. But these are symptoms that you're examining different parts of your life, and certain things are coming to the surface, and that making you more aware of them, and maybe you're expressing them or feeling them a little bit more. But you're doing this in order to gain a greater understanding of yourself. Sometimes change happens in kind of like a slight uphill, then a plateau, then a slight uphill, then a plateau. And during the plateau, that's when you can start becoming productive again. That's when you're being productive at a new level, and now the results might show. However, when you're doing the slight uphill, it may be a bit of an effort. It may seem like you're tired some of the time, or it might seem like, you're ultra focused or confused, or something like this. Or it might seem like you're fighting against something or battling against something. So in your process of change, understand that the way other people see you while you're changing, do not let yourself get sidetracked from your path, from your journey, from your course of action. That's my alarm clock saying, hey, hurry up. Do not let yourself get sidetracked just because somebody else does not understand the fact that you have taken apart, or you are examining parts of your life in order to understand your life better so your life can run better. They might not understand that. All they see is a little bit of dirt on your kitchen floor. They don't understand that you're cleaning up your kitchen floor, and they don't understand that there's less dirt than there was before underneath your refrigerator. All they see is the dirt. So no matter what kind of method or system that you use for your self-development, your self-improvement, your process of change, whether you use a psychologist, a counselor, just education, taking classes in human behavior and how to change habits, how the mind works, and how the emotions work, and how we process emotions. Whether you are working with a coach, a consultant, a personal consultant, or whether you're just doing it by yourself, realize that you know your score better than other people. You know what's going on with you while you're doing this. So don't let yourself feel bad if somebody is somehow questioning your process of your self-development. Maybe you're spending a lot of money in order to acquire these new personal skills or personal insights, and somebody else does not understand this because they're not inside you. They don't see the fact that you're looking at life in a happier way. They don't see that. They just see the clothes you're wearing, and the house you live in, and the car you're driving. Many people do not see how you're seeing life, and they don't really see if you're happy or not either. Because sometimes just a smile, does not necessarily mean happiness, nor does a frown mean sadness, So don't let people distract you from your path of self-development, of self-excellence, of self-growth, and of self-empowerment. It's worth spending the money. It's worth spending the time. It's worth going down a few blind alleys, making a few mistakes along the way. It is worth the process of change when you're changing toward, more of what you want to be or do or experience in your life. It's worth it to do it, and expect in advance that some people are not going to understand why you're devoting time, effort, and money into making this kind of change, whereas many other people might not. It might be just a small minority of the people who are in the process of making a change. So the whole change process to them, it might actually make them feel a little bit unsteady because they're already kind of stable in something and they don't want to get unstable. And the fact of them watching you change, it might, the image of that might reflect back to them, and they might start envisioning themselves as making a change, but maybe they're not ready for it, or maybe they don't know a system or a particular counselor, coach, therapist, or a guide or whatever who can really help them. Maybe they've tried to make changes in the past that have not been successful, so they decided just to not make any more changes. And this can be in any part of their life, in their job, in their relationships, in their marriages, or in trying to lose weight, whatever it might be. I encourage you to be very open to the incredible benefits of changing your life when need be, and the incredible and the wonderful, full of the ecstasy-filled fulfillment and happiness that really is available to everybody who understands the opportunity and the potential of what we can all grow into. It's like the sky is the limit. We can change into quite a fascinating person for ourselves. So that's my simple little talk today. It's called the process of change or the process of self-development. And the key point is simply this: you're doing it for yourself. A lot of your changes might not appear to other people. They might not notice that you've really changed. Some of the changes will be inner changes, just in the way you see life. Just if you can see life in a happier way, in a more positive way, if you can feel better about your experiences because of the manner in which you're going through life, it might not appear to other people that you've changed because you're wearing the same clothes, driving the same car, living in the same house. But you know you've changed because you have much less stress in your life. Somehow things are very easy to do that were not easy before. And it's worth the effort for you to do this. So realize in advance that other people may not understand, but it's worth the money you spend. It's worth the time and effort that you spend, and it's worth even looking like an idiot to your friends for a while if they don't understand. And if you happen to even go down a few blind alleys where you maybe spent money on something that wasn't worth it, or got the wrong advice from some guru or trainer, keep on the path and just get right back on it again. Find another coach, another counselor, and keep right on going. The road of self-development, it's worth every bit of it. So this is David Groninger in Seattle, Washington, saying thank you very, very much for taking the time to listen to this talk.